What is up, guys? Welcome back to this episode of the Road to Redemption podcast. I am, as always, your grateful host, Cam Williamson. It's great to be back with you. Hey, we're having ourselves a day. Got up, had some breakfast with my older sister. That was fun. Went to the old Waffle House. If you guys have never had that, it's amazing. I don't know who in this great country of the United States has not had the Waffle House. If you haven't and you're an IHOP person, you and I would not be friends. Let's just get that out of the way. It's either Bob Evans or Waffle House, folks. It's only two acceptable places to go for breakfast. I don't want to hear anything about your fancy First Watches. I don't want Cracker Barrel with your plain-ass food and your fireplaces. You can keep all that. I'll build a fire myself. I got candles right here in the house. Having ourselves a day. I have a fun night planned with my baby girl tonight. I got her one of those little plastic golf sets. She's all into golf now with me, which is fun. She even likes watching it, which is crazy because a week ago, I would have been like, I'm not watching golf. That shit's boring. But now, like, I turn it on. She's like, wow, did you see how far he hit it? Wow, he hooked the shot and all this. It's pretty fun. So we're going to have ourselves a day. Got a few little treats and stuff like that. I think today is a good day to just have a day. What does that mean, man? Like, I think sometimes we get so set on, I'm going to have you ever woken up in the morning and had that feeling of just being like, man, today's just going to be one of those days. I could just already feel it. It's going to be one of them days where, shit's just going to keep happening. And then it does. Right? And then you're like, see, I fucking knew it. Today's just one of those days. And it's like, well, you kind of set yourself up for that when you woke up. Where I've learned if you try to really control your thoughts, control your attitude, control the outlook that you're taking into every single day. And I know this sounds very cliche. I've been talking about a lot of cliche stuff, but cliche stuff is what it is because they're true most of the time, right? Like, your day is probably not going to go the best all day long. It's going to have ebbs and flows in it. I hope you have more ups than downs, but guys, there are some days when it's just going to go down, and then you're going to, have a nice lunch, and then something else might happen, and then something good will happen. But you can just choose to kind of ride with that flow and not crash into every single, slight decline. You just take your foot off the brakes and go, oh, Jesus, take the wheel, right? Oh, well, this day's fucked to hell now, so this is just what the day's going to be. It's like, no, man, it doesn't have to be. Okay, I'm trying to think of things that are like slightly inconvenient that really do jack our days up. I guess I'll tell you about my day yesterday, and this is kind of where this stems from, is I had to work 13 hours yesterday. That's a long day. We had a big special event for the PGA Tour. The Masters is going on here in Dublin, Ohio, which is cool. We had a big event where we were donating a bunch of pizza to the PGA Tours. It was like the kids' day. The kids of the golfers were going to come and golf and eat and do whatever. So we went. That happened at like 5:30. So I'm already more than halfway through my day at that point. But we had been anticipating this. That's a big order. 84 pizzas, that's a lot to make. And I had to bring half of them. So 45 had to go in my car, and I had to drive them there. And I'm stressed out, hoping to get, like, how do you manage 40 pizzas while you're driving? And I've got them, like, buckled in like a goofball and shit. So I'm panicking. Like, again, this is for the PGA Tour. My company's reputation is on the line. I'm stressed out. We're all stressed all day, hoping that we get this done and get it fulfilled on time. So we're kind of leading up to this thing while my energy's draining on this 13-hour shift. Get it there at the time we were supposed to. And after that, I just felt myself go, nothing really happened. But I just felt my mood. I felt my energy, my motivation, my drive just bottomed out on the 20-minute drive back to the shop. And I was like, damn, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, I still got 4 more hours at least before I'm getting out of here. And like our dinner rush is just about to hit. And I was right. It did. And it didn't stop. It didn't stop until like at 9:30, right? Remember, I've been there 13 hours now. At 9:30, we got 4 deliveries. And I was the only driver there. So I had to take all 4, which took me past the time that we were supposed to close. Luckily, the attitude that I took towards all of it is as I kept just getting bang and bang, and as soon as I would kind of feel like, all right, maybe I'm catching a little bit of a groove here, boom, my energy would just die out again. And I finally told myself, like, all right, We have to do this, right? So like we're going to be here for the amount of time we're going to be here. So we might as well just choose that we're not going to let ourselves get in a bad mood over something that has to happen, right? You're going to be here. People are going to order food. You're going to have to take it to them until this shit stops, right? So I did. Luckily, when I got back from those last 3 deliveries past our closing time, 2 of my boys, my fucking homies, I have closing work that I have to do before I can get out of there at night. They had done it for me because they had kind of died off at the kitchen and they didn't have much else to do. So they did it for me. And it was like, dude, you have no idea what you just made my fucking day. This whole 13-hour shift, totally worth it because my boys had my back. And it was like, I don't think that would have happened had I walked in there with a shit attitude every single time I had to take another delivery. I definitely complained about it. And I was like, these motherfuckers, because it just for you at home, if you don't work in restaurants and you've never worked in the service industry before, if you're getting delivery or things like that, or you're going to go sit down to eat somewhere, Google what time they close. If it's within an hour of that, pick somewhere else. Choose somewhere else. Why? They're getting ready to close. That last hour is for people that got there 2 hours to an hour and a half before close, and they're finishing up their meals, and that's going to be the last dishes that we have to do for the night. I could strangle you people who just don't have common courtesy for the people that are of service to you. It's crazy to me. Anyway, I get that done. I'm driving home. I'm in a good mood now. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm going home, chilling, listening to music. I get home, and what do I hear? You guys might even be able to hear it. I don't know. Just this, it sounds like someone put clothes in a washing machine to jam it up so it won't spin, but it's just on, going, and it's coming from the top corner of my apartment, which means my neighbors just moved out. So like I think they did something to one of their utilities before they moved out to where there's just been a buzzing for since I got home last night. I've been wearing my AirPods with the noise canceling so I can't hear it, and I hope you guys can't either because it's really, really annoying. I had to have both of my TVs turned on and cranked up last night just so I could sleep. But it's like, yeah, is that irritating after a 13-hour shift? Yeah, it's irritating. But, like, I still sat down and I was like, yeah, that's definitely irritating. But I can have a warm meal. I have a roof over my head. I have internet where I can watch whatever I want. I can stream whatever. I really don't have anything to complain about. I have a mother who's passing away of cancer, and I'm not. So what am I really going to sit around and call a bad day for me? I can still call her. So it's a good day for me. Right? And that's kind of where I've gotten back to in my life is on the days that I get to talk to the people I love, that's a good day. On the days I get to hug them, that's an even better day. If I can make them feel special in some type of way, man, that's a great day. And anything else, if I have a little anxiety here and there, or, my mood gets down. And now I wanted to talk about this too. This is something that I might as well just get out of the way because I don't know if I've ever talked about it publicly. I'm sure I have, but I don't know. So I don't know what it is. I've never had it looked at. I've never whatever. But if you guys have noticed, since I chilled on drinking, my twitch comes back. Talking about it typically makes it worse and causes me severe anxiety, where typically just talking about my twitches will put me into a panic attack. But I kind of started feeling one coming anyway, so that's why I was like, well, fuck it, we might as well talk about it. Yeah, I've done it really since, I don't know, I think in my early 20s. I started twitching and I started ticking, where you guys will see my eyes just kind of blink rapidly. It's a nerve thing. It's an anxiety thing. I actually, funny enough, started drinking really heavily to stop it because I just noticed that when I went out with my friends and I would drink, I wouldn't twitch. And then they would notice it. And they my friends at one point in the military, they called me Twitch. I was on a softball team and it said Twitch on the back of my jersey. And I didn't think it was funny. especially because whenever I would start twitching, people would be like, oh, yeah, I think he's fucking twitching. And it's like, yeah, man, stop, because you're going to make it worse. Where now I think it's just a part of my nervous system trying to regulate itself. I've kind of worked through it now. I know what it is, and I know it's not dangerous. I used to get really scared. I used to get afraid that I was like blacking out or I was about to black out. It's just a nerve thing. I've had people message me and ask, like, are you okay, or are you on drugs? No, I'm not on drugs. I am okay. Some people have even asked, like, do I have Tourette's? I don't think so. I don't know what it is. Again, I'm not going to sit here and self-diagnose myself. I'm not qualified to do that. But I've had a nervous twitch. And if you see, I'm just kind of a fidgety guy. I talk with my hands. I'm kind of always moving. I'm kind of always messing with shit. I'm, constantly have something to drink. That's one of my things is I definitely have a drinking problem, but it's not necessarily just alcohol. Like, if you guys see, my apartment looks crazy 90% of the time because I have 4 different drinks and half of them have been drank. I have a lot of weird, like, impulse twitch things that I do. Changing my clothes is another one where I'll change my clothes 4 or 5 times a day. Usually just my shirt or my hoodie or something, but it's a weird, like, kind of impulse thing that just happens. I don't try to make a big deal about it. People, funny enough, like, I hate getting my hair cut. It gives me really bad anxiety, and I start twitching real bad there. And usually they'll ask me, and they'll go, hey, are you okay? And I'll tell them, hey, I have anxiety, and it's just a nervous tick that I have. And typically talking about it makes it worse. And then everything's kind of awkward for a minute. But it's just something that I notice, honestly, the better care I take of myself, the less it happens. So the more I'm exercising, the more water I'm drinking, the more rest I get, the better it is. And like right now, I'm able to sit and talk about it, and I'm not completely flipping out. It sucks for sure. It's one of the biggest reasons that I don't like going out to eat. I don't like having to engage with wait staff and stuff, and I make them uncomfortable. It's not that necessarily I'm uncomfortable. It's just I don't like making other people uncomfortable because of my antsiness and my fidgetiness. And that's all tied into a lot of things. But I just wanted to kind of get that out there because, again, like, back in the day when I used to really be self-conscious about it, it would have been really hard to have a bad day if I had one episode where I started twitching or ticking a little bit. And I'd be like, God damn it. Like, now this is just going to be how my whole life is and whatever. And it's like, now I've just learned, like, the more energy stuff you drink, I just went and had coffee with my breakfast, and now I'm drinking an energy drink. It's not weird that I would start twitching now. So it's like, you have to just learn some things are just a part of your life. It's going to be, a part of your day sometimes. Maybe that's anxiety. Maybe that's depression. But you don't have to let it beat you, and you don't have to let it ruin your entire day. And you don't have to let it define you. Like, that's one of the reasons I stopped putting Twitch and shit on the back of my jersey, which is I don't think it's funny. Because it's not. It's uncomfortable for me. It makes other people uncomfortable. And it's not something that it's not something that I brag about necessarily. It's not, I don't know. But now it's not something that I let ruin my day. And those that love me, they understand. So like I'm very grateful for my sister, and I know she doesn't listen to my show, but I'm very grateful for my sister and the relationship that her and I have now, because to be very honest, my sister is the only person in my life who has honestly been there for my entire life. And she was she was around more than my parents. And then when we got older, like when I turned 18, I moved out and I was gone. And I've been gone and since, until this last year. This last year, we've really gotten closer. So now as adults, we can kind of look at our entire lives in retrospect, and we're able to talk very honestly, and we know each other's tics and flaws and stuff like that. So I'm able to sit with her and feel completely safe. So even if I do start ticking or whatever, it's like, I know that she's not sitting there like, oh, Cam, are you okay? She's like, no, that's my brother. He's whatever. And that has really helped me a lot. And like, I've been very open with some of my coworkers who have become good friends to me now. And it's nice because I'm able to talk to them about it too. And, people notice that I twitch. and they don't say anything about it. But sometimes I could just tell them, like, with my anxiety issues, it causes me to, have these issues. And it just opens lines of communication, which then helps you not feel like you're carrying around this pressure or this weight of either like this secret that you have about yourself or shame that you're carrying around, guilt for the way you perceive that you're making other people feel. That's one of the worst things I've noticed about with anxiety is all about your perception of yourself. So it's actually very egotistical if you think about anxiety, because everything's about me. Am I safe? How am I being perceived? Am I weirding people out? How do I look? Am I acting weird? Like, am I about to black out? All these ruminating thoughts. It's me, all the time. That's anxiety. And it's constantly trying to be at war with your happiness. Well, you can't be happy right now because of this. Oh, you shouldn't be happy right now because this could happen. Oh, well, and it's all this like, it's just the way your brain gets wired at some point, whether it's just a bad attitude, turns into bad actions, turns into bad weeks and bad months that leads to your mind just being like, well, bad shit happens to me. So it continues to. One thing I've learned to take a lot of rest in here the past, especially the last 2 weeks, is sometimes, and it's so overrated. God damn, I'm becoming like one of those hang in there posters, ain't I? With the cats. Insert here. One thing I've really learned to take solace in this past 2 weeks for real is finding a moment, just a moment. And don't do it when you're feeling anxious. Don't whatever. Just I think it'll come very naturally to you if you look for it. There will be a moment in your day. Hopefully you have a couple where you stop for a second, and if you have to stand up straight or whatever, and you just take you don't have to take like a crazy deep breath, but just do nothing for 3 seconds. And just take that breath in and be like, wow, reset. Let's have a day. Right? There's nothing, if you're still and for people that are in hospitals, for people that are incarcerated, stuff like that, my heart goes out to those people so much, because you don't have the freedom to do what I'm about to say. But if you're still physically well, and you're not in, complete shambles in your life, your day is gonna be all right. And you are gonna be okay. You're gonna be all right. You're gonna eat if you remember to and you make it a priority to. You're gonna have a roof over your head. You're gonna get to where you need to go. Your kids are gonna have that thing done on time. I know it's summertime and these fucking schedules for these kids, dude. Every day it's something else. They need a t-shirt for tie-dye. They need a new pair of pajamas because it's not only just pajama day, but now it's fucking Minion pajama day. And it's not the same because they had Avengers pajama day fucking 3 days ago. So now apparently they wear pajamas all fucking 5 days that they go to school. But they all have to be new because when they go to school on Tuesday, they had the same one as whoever. Now, apparently our family's the automatic asshole. So we're the ones that got to rush out and go buy new. I get it. Things get stressful, right? Right? But it's make it fun. Make it fun. It is fun, really, if you think about it. It's fun to run around and buy your kids shit and watch their reaction. And then remember, when you were a kid, do you ever remember? I had this flashback, and I hope my camera battery doesn't die. I had this flashback when I was taking my long-ass trek the other day. I walked past a Wendy's, had this random flashback of the times that my grandmother would randomly pick us up from school just to take us to Wendy's and then take us home. She just did it. I don't even know if she asked my parents' permission, but she would pick us up from school, get us Frosties and shit from Wendy's and be like, dude, we're going home. And that, like, now I try to recreate those same feelings for my kids. Like, pick them up early from school, have little surprises for them, take them somewhere, do something cool, take them back to the house, have a movie night, let them cuddle with you and shit. And it's like, yo, it's fun. That's life. Have a day, baby. School day, weekend, who gives a fuck? Like, especially when they're little, man. I'm pointing at my baby. I got a picture of her sitting in front of me. Especially when they're little, like, and they're under 10. Fuck it. Fuck it. Who cares, really? Right? Like, okay, as long as they know how to read. Nah, well, they don't know how to read when they're 5. As long as they know how to, like, count, say their ABCs, they can talk well, they're not, struggling in any way, man, let them have a day. And then have it with them. That's a memory that they will have forever. And sometimes I think we get so lost in our own day, we forget that, especially when you have kids or you have people that you're in relationships with, your day is their day too. So if you're just committed to having a shit, sorry I'm swearing so much, I'm sorry. If you're committed to having just a terrible day and you're like, well, this just happens to me, you don't think your kids feel that same energy? And you don't think that they maybe start to go around and be like, well, bad things just happen in our family, so it's probably just going to happen to me too. And then you start to affect them in this negative, crazy way where, like, okay, if you have anxiety, that's fine. But when you walk in to pick your kids up, do your very best to be like, yo, good to see you. Give them the biggest fucking hug ever. I love you so much. Give them all the affection that you feel inside that you want to give them. Don't hold back. Give it to them. And then when you get him back out to the car, like, be excited with him. Yo, check this thing. This is dope as hell. And, like, have a fucking day, man. Watch what good happens when you start living that way. Only pay attention to the positive. Only focus on the positive. If it's negative, deal with it and move the fuck on. I'm apparently not going to stop swearing this episode. It is what it is. Camera battery's probably about to die anyway. I guess I hopped on here to say that I hope you all have a day. You're going to have a day. And I hope that if for even 15 minutes you were able to sit, reassess a couple things. I hope that's what you guys mainly do while I sit here and ramble a lot of the time, is I just spark little cliff notes in your heads for situations in your own life where you can just sit and ponder on it for a minute while I ramble in the background of your head, right? I love you guys very much. Thank you all very much who have been writing to me and telling me that you're watching the show and that you're enjoying the show and the routes that we're taking and the topics we're talking on. I don't care if 5 people watch this show. If all 5 of you write and tell me, hey, I'm watching and it means a lot to me, dude, we'll do this every couple days as much as I possibly can. I'm working so much right now. It's crazy how much I'm working, and I'm moving and shaking. I got to be different places. Yeah, I gotta drive to a different fucking state here in a couple days, and so I'm all over the place, baby. But I always make time for this show as long as you guys keep letting me know that you're watching. I love you guys. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, typical YouTube thing, and I'll see you guys in the next one.